So for those that don't know, Easter is tomorrow, which means that we are getting new locker codes. And so like the video right now if you want to see 2K give us a guaranteed free dark matter locker code. And let me know down below in the comments, what do you think 2K is going to give us for the Easter locker code, as well as some other stuff? Because we have some good news, we have some bad news, and we have some news in general. And so I'm going to be covering everything that you need to know. And so let's get right into it right here, because the first thing that you want to do is you do want to prepare for the triple threat park cheese. You guys already know at this point in the year, you know, 2K has been updating these rewards every single Sunday, and this time around it's actually, you know, Sunday for Easter, so Easter Sunday, you know. So when it comes to park, I've actually seen a lot more people, you know, playing park versus like other, you know, weekends, and so I do like that. You know, I have definitely been seeing a nice little uprising, more people playing it. Obviously, people are still playing Showdown, Salary Cap, etc., and stuff like that, but I have noticed a difference in, you know, the variety of people playing Park at least. Let me know if you guys do play this game mode, or maybe you play something else. And as you can see, the rewards right now are, you know, trash. I don't know 2K's obsession with a free diamond. I'm really hoping it's not a diamond locker code tomorrow, because I'm going to lose my mind. But let me show you guys the new rewards. Are you ready? And bam! So we are getting another free invincible piece, which you love to see. I do like the fact that they at least did give us another one. We do have a 95 plus, you know, basically prime player, so guaranteed free P9 or higher, and then also the regular prime pack, which of course you do have a chance of pulling any of the new players that 2K ended up releasing with the new packs. We do have the Nasus, the GOAT himself. You know, we got Sweet Lou, Derrick Jones Jr., you know, Roy Hibbert. A lot of people are liking Roy Hibbert. Let me know if you guys have tried him out. You know, they got the Dark Matter Michael Beasley. He's always great. Dark Matter Lillard. You know, anyone care about Lillard? No? Okay. I just figured I would mention him. Giannis, obviously, Edwards, and Jason Tatum as the top 3 cards. And so when it comes to this new updates with these new rewards, you know, it's basically your typical, you win 5 wins in a row. You guys know, again, how this works at this point. Let me know what you guys are doing with these pieces, because at this point, everybody's kind of like different, right? Everybody's been doing different things. The Pink Diamond in a regular pack, obviously, that could also be potentially good if you get lucky, but most likely you'll probably get a gold player out of this one, a Pink Diamond out of this one. So these two really do need a big upgrade, and 2K basically just says head to Triple Threat Park on Sunday, Easter Sunday, and then of course rack up the streak to win rewards, and then, you know, you guys can see the rewards. And so when it comes to this event, it is still going on, which actually is you know, going to lead into our bad news, which I hate to say it, but we definitely do have some bad news. And before I do mention that, actually, when it comes to the exchange, a lot of people still keep asking me, what's the best thing to get? And honestly, with the way 2K did this event this time around, it's really just go after the Dark Matters, honestly. Like, get that Jason Kidd, get the Marc Gasol, because this time around, you really can't make that much MT. I think you get about like 50,000, maybe 200K. I think it's only 50 to 70, though, I think. No one has really done the math too much, because they really nerfed, you know, the MT method. So you can still get a bit of MT. You're not making like hundreds of thousands of MT like before, unfortunately, with that piece. But you can always break it down, and, you know, you end up getting some 100 overall pieces, turn them into Dark Matter pieces. And I would really just focus on getting somebody like Swaggy P, and then of course Andrew Wiggins, Jason Kidd, and then Marc Gasol. Definitely recommend Jason Kidd if you need a point guard, if you need a center, Marc Gasol, and then of course if you need a shooting guard, Andrew Wiggins. So those are still something that everybody can go after, and with that piece, it's definitely gonna help you out, right? And like I was saying, let's go back to the let's go to the bad news. Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious now that with Easter being tomorrow, usually 2K by you know, at this point they would have already added an Easter events like we have seen in previous 2Ks. I think we've seen an Easter event probably the last, I think, like 3 straight years, maybe 5, maybe every year. I'm trying to remember if, I think did 2K20 have an event? I'm not 100% sure on 2K20, but at the moment, like I mentioned, with this event still going on, the bad news is, I don't think we're going to get one. I don't think we're getting an Easter event. So that really sucks. So Easter event canceled. Now 2K could of course at any point be like, hey, it's Easter Sunday, so like get on and get some rewards. Haha, bunny this, bunny that. But I don't think so. You know, a lot of people right now keep asking me, where's the event? Is 2K gonna do an Easter event? And I think just because of the exchanges they have right now and this event, I don't think we're gonna get one. So if you were looking forward to exchanging your eggs for some rewards, it's only gonna happen in real life. So if you have family, you know, go out there, go egg hunting, I guess. And so, you know, if you were looking forward to this, like I said, I don't think it's gonna happen, because I think 2K would have added it already. Now again, that's the bad news. Okay, I covered the news. Now the bad news, now the good news though, is the fact that we should, and I want to say should, because like with 2K you never really do know, but we should be getting new locker codes for Easter, okay? We should. And 2K, if you make it a diamond for Easter, I am going to riot, okay? The whole 2K community will literally pick up pitchforks and everything, okay? You guys ever see that episode of The Simpsons when they're out there just, you know, just going crazy? Yeah, that's gonna be us. So I do feel like 2K is going to be adding a locker code. I'm kind of hoping they do like an ascension like this. I really enjoyed this locker code where basically there was just a bunch of different players and then you picked them and then you got like, you know, the grand prize was Mac McClung, but there was other, you know, lower tier players. So you were able to get like amethyst diamonds, pink diamonds, and then a galaxy opal. Even though knowing 2K with them basically canceling this Easter events, which, you know, they could still add something tomorrow, but I doubt it at this point. I do think it's going to be something like we've seen, you know, early on in the year, which is very embarrassing because I was actually going through like the locker codes that they dropped this year, at least the big ones, right? The ones that everybody could type in, because nowadays every locker code you got to get your own. You got to watch streams, you got to have, you know, NBA ID, you got to have, you know, all sorts of different things when it comes to locker codes. And so when it comes to the holidays, that's at least something that 2K, you know, I guess has, you know, kind of kept up with to a certain extent. So Lunar New Year, horrible, trash, probably the worst events we've ever seen. So, but then again, I would rather, I guess, this versus nothing. But then, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, is this event better than the no Easter events? I guess you can let me know. But I do think it's going to be a locker code like this. I think they're going to give us, hopefully, free Dark Matters. If they give us a free Galaxy Opal, I hope they at least pick some really good players. Because, like, for Easter, they've always kind of picked some decent players. Nothing crazy like Dennis Rodman. Like, a free Dark Matter, brand new Dennis Rodman card would be amazing. You know, an Ascension, like I mentioned. Or just give us a variety of players. You know, Zach LaVine, he's got a Dark Matter. Michael Jordan has a Dark Matter. Paul George has a Galaxy Opal. Mason, I think, has he might have a pink diamond. And then Larry Nance, I think, has a pink diamond, too. Maybe a diamond. I'm not too sure on these two, but you can see, like, the potential, right? So I do think it's going to be something like this. You know, I wouldn't be mad at a Dark Matter option pack, a Galaxy Opal option pack, a random Dark Matter pack, and then like a couple Dark Matters and like maybe one Galaxy Opal as like a ball drop. I do feel like that's what 2K is going to be adding just because, you know, even for Thanksgiving, we had this decent pink diamond locker code. And if I remember correctly, all these players were new. So you can see that when it comes to like the holiday locker codes, at least 2K does kind of lock in and they give us some good stuff. But that's kind of been it. It's been like Thanksgiving, Christmas, MLK Day, and I think we had one for Halloween. I think we had a few of those. So they've been kind of doing locker codes a little differently this year. So we should be getting Easter locker codes tomorrow. I don't think we'll see an Easter event. And then, of course, the new rewards tomorrow. And I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. In the meantime, check out the Invincible gameplay I did, as well as the pack opening. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.